using online games to promote student motivation and increase academic success. For this problem, we really want to focus on the student motivation levels and academic achievement, specifically with struggling students, and the use of technology and how we can help it. Some of the things that we really want to look at when I was doing this project was, how does technology impact motivation levels? Does it have any impact? And can it raise student academic levels? Also, I really want to focus on just the struggling students. The reason why, I feel like students that excel are going to excel regardless of the strategy. So instead of targeting them, I put more energy into identifying struggling students and monitoring their progress while using technology. Some of the other things that I focused on when I was doing this is, how does it impact relationships? What is the impact of choice? And how does technology help create student engagement? And so basically, for this problem, how can we use technology to increase motivation and academic achievement, specifically with struggling students? For my plans, I had two basic ones I thought of using. One of them was to create online curriculums. They are becoming more and more popular, and they're all good reviews. Unfortunately, they are too expensive. Looking at the one I wanted to use would have cost upwards of 25 grand to get all of the material, and to do that I would have need to write grants and have school permission. So that one was out. Also, I thought about using student technologies such as cell phones. They're pretty much everywhere. Almost every student has them, and so I thought maybe we could do something with that. Unfortunately, not every student has them, which could cause a problem, and so we decided to go with the third one, which is using online games. The reason behind this was, number one, it was financially and logistically acceptable. It wouldn't cost anything, and every student is one-to-one, so they all have the means to get on their Chromebook and access the games. Second, it is research-based. There are many things out there that suggest that using online games does increase motivation and student achievement. Also, my students are 8th grade students who happen to love online games. They are constantly trying to find ways to play them, whether they're math games, social studies games, or just regular games. They are trying to play them. So might as well use that enthusiasm and try to make it more educational. For my first week, I implemented the game called the mating game. The entire unit was over evolution, and so for each week I introduced one or two games to help them understand the topics better. For this game, the students were focusing on how animals find traits and which traits are more desirable, because that will help them evolve. Right away, what I did was I just allowed the students to play the game. Right away, students were very, very, very excited. And they obviously were very engaged because they really wanted to play the game. After the game, I had them write in a journal. And this was to assess what they could get from the game. What could they pull from the game that related to the topic of evolution? Unfortunately, after going through it, it was very clear that students could not pull any information from the game that connected to evolution besides basic understanding, like, for evolution, you need better traits. Things like that. So unfortunately, we did not get the results we wanted. Now, why did that happen? For the first round, it could have been because the students were not really used to writing in journals and using a game to actually pull deeper knowledge from. So they might not have had that required skill set to begin with, which would mean this strategy was going to fail regardless of whether or not it worked. For the next week, I implemented this game where it talked about mutations. But there was some slight variation on how I did it. Right away, I let the kids play it, but I did not give instructions, unlike in the previous week where I had. I let them try to figure it out themselves. Why I wanted to do this was because I wanted them to try to find a way to solve a problem. Get them thinking, okay, how can we accomplish this? How can we win this? I wanted them to get motivated in the understanding that it's okay to not understand something right away, but by keep trying, you will eventually learn it. If students had that mentality for almost every subject, it'd be much easier for teachers to teach students, especially struggling students, because they'd be used to not getting it right away and be okay with continuous effort in trying to learn it. So after this one, after they played it, we came back together as a group and I taught vocabulary. I taught all the material, all the words, everything they needed to know to connect it to this game. After that, I allowed them to play it again. Hopefully this time, with the backed up knowledge, to actually pull deeper ideas from it. So although in the initial instance where they did do a great job of problem solving, they still did not have the in-depth thinking skills that I was hoping for. Even though we went over the vocabulary words, many still struggled to see the connection between the game and what we were learning. So further adaptation had to be done. Later on in the week, using what I had learned from how students had progressed in the last game and the lack of skills they had, I had an alternative means for the game. Instead of focusing on academic, maybe we should focus on motivation to put forth effort. Because in the last week and a half, that was clearly something that was a problem. They were motivated to play the game, but they were not motivated to actually do the work and put effort forth in creating those deeper connections. And so what I did was I allowed the students to play this new game for a very small amount of time, just to get them introduced to it. After that, I required them to fill out a specific questionnaire that showed me what they learned from the game and connected to what we had been learning. Surprisingly, the results were more promising. The students by far put way more effort into it, even the struggling students, because they wanted to play the game, because I only allowed them to play the game again if they met my expectations on the questionnaire. Most students did a very good job. There were still students who did not show any effort to answer the questions and generally just accepted the fact that they wouldn't play the game. That is an issue, I think, that is deeper than the motivational level of games. I think that more has to do with their general overview of school as a whole. And those students I know in other classes show the same things regardless of the activities they do. But many of my struggling students did show more effort because they wanted to play the game. So this week showed me that there is a connection, something, or an influence over games to student motivation. In the third week, we did it again. This time, I used the game as a reward instead of part of the lesson. So the students were asked to fill out, do some activities, learn material, and only after that were they allowed to play the game. This would stop kids who would just try or just play the game and then after the game was over, refuse to answer the questions because they had already gotten the stimuli that they wanted. They had already got the reward. By refusing to give them the reward until they had earned it, hopefully kids would put more effort into the initial learning stage. And based on the findings from week 2, it did allow me to use it in a motivational factor, which I found to have benefits. Overall, I thought the kids did a very nice job. The kids were motivated to learn, they put forth effort, and most of them ended up being able to play the game. Now with the game though, I also connected a project to it, so it wasn't just a game. They were allowed to play the game and do part of the project, so project-based learning. Unfortunately, once the students again had the reward, their effort levels dropped drastically. Once they had gotten what they wanted, they didn't put as much effort in. Now note, I'm only talking about the struggling students. Most of the students for the last couple weeks have done normally what they would. They've done very well. But I'm only targeting the struggling students. And so the students that I had been targeting again showed signs of lack of motivation and effort once the reward was already given to them. In week 4, this was more for the academic side of this. I wanted to see if using online games with the unit would help elevate academic scores. So what we did was we spent 3 days studying. On this side, I still focused on the motivation by chunking. I allowed kids to play the game every day if they got the study section done. What this did was it allowed kids to actually study, and if they did the stuff they needed to, they were allowed to play the game. Surprisingly, the students, for the majority of my struggling students, got everything done, so they allowed them to play the game. One thing that I found was that students, when they were given smaller tasks, they were able to get them done with less resistance. Instead of giving them a big assignment to do and then allowing them to play the game, I had them do smaller sections and then got the reward. I found this was very beneficial, and my struggling students, I believe, benefited greatly from it. When we got to the test, though, I did not see academic growth. I had compared it to their usual scores from the past year, and they did not increase. But they did show more growth on their effort. Answers were more filled out, short answers, and essay questions were actually had details, where most of the time they would only give short answer or one word answers. But this time, they were writing full sentences and actually putting effort. Now, this didn't translate to higher grades, but it did translate to better effort. From my findings with motivation, clearly the research suggests that online tools increase motivation, and from what I saw, it does. It does increase motivation, but using it as a reward definitely increases how much students will put into their work to achieve the reward. The interest level of engagement was definitely the highest during playtime. That's when they were most engaged. Unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily mean that much because they weren't exactly pulling anything from them. From the journal, from the reflection pieces, the students seemed to not get that much out of playing the games, at least for this small sample size. But it is interesting to know that the engagement level was the highest. Now, some things to talk about, though, with this is some of the limiting factors that might make the numbers or the results not exactly accurate. One, the students were given a lot of choices. It is known that when you give student choices, they are more likely to be interested and motivated. They use project learning. Project-based learning has been shown to increase motivation and engagement as well. And the relationship between the teacher and the student can be increased by the use of technology. So all three of these could have potentially increased motivation where it wasn't actually the online games. For the next finding, the academic achievement part, even though research specifically backs it and has shown to increase it, for my study, I did not find that any student increase or any student scores increased. They were generally the same. Now, they did not go down either. So although there is research backing it up, there was no clear effort or clear evidence to show it. But I did find evidence to show that there was increased student effort. And something to think about for further studies, does effort actually correlate to test scores? If I am actually increasing their effort, will they increase their test scores over time? Short-term versus long-term. I might not have gotten the long-term result or the short-term result of higher grades, but on a long-term scale, more effort, in my opinion, is probably more beneficial to kids. Some of the limiting factors, lack of preparation. There was not as much preparation to finding the games, researching the games, and generally preparing the students to do the specific activities. This could have hindered the effectiveness of these online games. Next time, this study should be redone, but it needs to be thought out more. There needs to be a mirrored unit that has almost the exact same factors to it without the online games. And so you can look at both of them and compare them and see what is the difference between when using online games and when not. Because otherwise, with this study, there was too many variables. Overall, using online games does seem to increase student motivation, but not necessarily academic achievement.